G'day! Now this is my 1993 Mazda MX-5. It's running a 1.8 VVT engine swap and a little supercharger to give it a bit of extra pep. However, you may have seen in some recent videos, it's kind of been neglected and shoved in the back corner of the backyard and not been getting a lot of love. Unfortunately, I kind of left it unloved for a few months while other things took priority. Thankfully, we've now come to a time where it's, well, due for a bit of a spring clean. While the engine for the turbo build is off, shall we say, getting some love, we're going to give this car some love of its own, give it a bit of a spruce up, and the lovely weather here has blessed us, so it's time to give this car some attention. So what exactly is the plan? Well, over the next 3 or 4 days, we're going to kind of pull the car back to its bare bones, give it a bit of a spruce up, interior, engine bay, everything needs a bit of attention, give it a service, and then put it all back together, and hopefully we'll get a nice, clean, happy, good, healthy, running, and fun little car. The end goal and kind of the whole point of what I'm trying to do here is to put the car on club permit like I did with the red car you would have seen a few months back. Ideally, what we want to do is get this car into a nice, healthy, clean, good running state so that it will pass any roadworthy inspections that I need to get done to be able to get it onto the club permit. That involves the car being presentable, clean, and running properly, which it kind of already is anyway, but there are a few things that we want to do to make it just right. Along the way, I'll try and give everything a bit of a proper good clean. The engine bay is looking a little manky, shall we say. There's a few cobwebs and things around. The interior's gotten a little dirty just from being sitting around for a while, and there's a few little bits and pieces I want to upgrade along the way. First thing I think we need to do is probably take the roof off and start to pull apart some of the interior pieces so that we can give them all a good clean.
So I think before we get started with pulling this car apart, why don't I take you on a little bit of a tour of what the car is now. So fundamentally it's a 1993 Clubman NA MX-5. It originally came with a 1.8 engine, although I've had a engine swap on this thing. The complete drivetrain from a VVT NB has been swapped into this car. Everything up to the wiring loom, the interior, the whole lot has all been swapped over. It's a pretty nice peppy car, but let me show you a few bits under the bonnet and in the interior and whatnot, and I'll show you, a little bit of how we've done with the swap. First thing with the interior, yes, I even managed to swap over the NB door cards. That was quite a little bit of fiddly work, but everything else is kind of bolt on. It didn't go too badly. Let me show you under the bonnet, because that's kind of where the excitement is.
If I can get to this door pull, a little bit tricky to get to with one hand. And as we move over to the bonnet,
under here, I've got the VVT NB 1.8 engine that has been swapped in. All of the wiring loom, even the ABS brakes from the NB is all here. And of course, as I mentioned, to pep this car up a little bit, it's got the FFS or Fast Forward Superchargers supercharger kit, RX-8 yellow injectors. It's still got the OEM ECU plus a piggyback E-Cool, E-Boost, whatever it is thing that comes with the kit. Is it perfect? No. But is it nice to run? Absolutely. It's got a nice bit of sort of low-end punch. It kind of feels like a bigger engine than it really is. Exterior-wise, it's not the best car, let's be honest. I've got it lowered on a set of Megan Racing coilovers. I've got some wheels, some side skirts, some lips and things on the front and the rear, just to kind of give it the style that I like for this kind of build. Brakes wise, it runs the NB Sport brakes, which is a nice addition, and as I do with most of my cars, a set of Hawk pads. I've also got the Lightyear hardtop. It's an aftermarket lightweight fiberglass top. Interior wise, I'm running the full NB dashboard, console, carpets, and some aftermarket bride seats. And lastly, I should mention these are a set of 15x8 plus 25 wheels with some Maxxis tyres. Nothing special, they just kind of suit the build, and I got them cheap a few years ago, and I've just sort of left them on this car ever since. This perhaps gives you a bit of an idea on what I mean by needing to clean the interior. Cobwebs on my soft top, not exactly nice, and a whole heap of dirt and leaves around the back here. This thing definitely needs a bit of a clean up.
Things are a little cleaner in here now, with the exception of that footwell, which clearly needs some... just ignore that for now. But everything else has sort of been stripped apart. I've cleaned out the boot, pulled out all the crap that was in here. I do need a new battery, so I'll have to go shopping for one of those. I've pulled the seats out just to... you can see it's kind of grimy. Things need to clean up, so pull the seats out, I'll vacuum it all up. I can now go and clean up this soft top a bit as well. And, well, we haven't done anything under the bonnet yet, but that will need some attention shortly also. So I think phase one for now is clean everything up and give everything a bit of a wipe down, and particularly in the interior and the like. Then I'll jack the thing up and we can start having a look at some of the mechanicals. So the car's off the ground. I went and had some lunch and had a bit of a break, and I went to the bolt shop because I have an unhealthy addiction with bolts. Anyway, let's get back to work. Now, one of the reasons I went to the bolt shop was because the bolts in the front of the supercharger here have gone all ugly and rusty, so I bought some new ones. They're a bit longer. I'll need to cut them down, but they're stainless and they're going to look much nicer than those ugly things that are there at the moment. So yeah, got to do some cutting. Much better than these old rusty boys.
You know, I said earlier that the weather had blessed us, but I guess I was wrong. Here comes the Melbourne rain.
Now, one thing I need to do, and the reason I jacked this thing up, is there's an exhaust leak here, which needs some attention. Let me come and show you. So, this flange here, as you can see, some blackening, which we'll need to, I don't know, I'll have to pull the gasket out and see why it's leaking here. It's like it's leaking through the gasket, through the joint. It's not any weld issue or anything. So I'll unbolt these fellas and we'll have a squiz and see what is going on. Next up for exhaust stuff, I'm going to swap the O2 sensor. Obviously a pretty easy job, just unscrew one end, unplug the other, and vice versa for putting it back in. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Moving on from one type of sensor to a few more, I've got a new crank and cam angle sensor and a new airflow meter, mass airflow meter, whatever you want to call it. Got to stick all of these in now. That's the easy one. Doing the crank angle sensor is never fun on a car when it's all fully assembled and it's the only thing you're trying to change. Of course, if the engine's out of a car, it makes life much easier, but let me sort of show you the pain point. So down here beside the crank right in the middle of the screen there is the sensor in question, and it's got a 10mm bolt there that attaches it to the block, and then the wiring loom runs up here, and then the wire connectors just here. There's also a bracket that's down behind a couple of the belts down there that's also really tricky to get to, so nonetheless it's in now, which is good. We can focus on getting this guy installed. It's going to go down under the intake. Yo, so we pulled that off because in under here, right there, is the intake, and that's the MAF right there, which with enough wiggling, this is hollow. It's an empty MAF, so we need to replace it with one that actually works. You can't quite see in there. If I do this, will it trick the camera into adjusting light balance? You kinda. So you can see there's nothing in that MAF, it's been gutted. So we need a one that actually works. So this is the removed dodgy MAF. Here is the working one. You can see it's got things inside it. So we remove this fella, we replace it with this fella. Pay attention to the arrow that indicates flow. If you're ever doing this, you got to make sure that that's correct. Now, just before I go and put this old chap back in, I need to clean up the wiring for the IAT, which is this connector here, and the MAF, which I believe is that one. 3 pin? Yeah, which is this one. Need to route those back down to where they used to live, because I hadn't had this plugged in previously. We now need to plug it in, so I'm going to have to route it down behind the belt here, behind the tensioner, behind the alternator belt. Needs to sneak down below here to where the intake lives. Well, it's another one of those situations where I need to end because it's the end of the day. Things aren't finished here though, so we'll continue with this car next time. Thanks for watching.